welcome back to my channel. I'm Iris, this is Beauty Bees. Today we are talking trash, specifically empties. I have a lot of empties today to cover because I have moved from what I've been doing for the past few years now, which was doing my empties every month, to doing them every other month, and things pile up. So we're going to start, as usual, with the littler things and then work towards the bigger items at the end. And I have a ton of nail wraps to show you this month. So I have 6 sets of nail wraps. I am wearing one of them today. 4 of them are from some different sellers on Temu, and overall I've been really happy with them. I had these like ombre, I think they were supposed to be marble designs, but this one in particular ended up looking a little bit more ombre than marble, purple shade. I did one with these gray rose design. What I have today is this like leopard on some nails with gold and orange on the others. I think this is really fun. I love mismatched nails. This one was adorable. It was a white, pink, light gray, and sort of a sage green set, and they had some of these interesting little abstract designs on some of them. Thought those were super cute. Now I tend to get like 3 to 5 days, probably usually more like 3 days out of these nail wraps. I'm currently on day 3 and they look really good, but I just tend to get kind of sick of things after about 3 or 4 days, and it will probably take them off tonight. Using, which are from Lily and Fox, I find that I tend to get about 1 to 2 days more wear out of these, and they have 8 stickers rather than 7 in the set. And I think that the largest sticker, okay, so the largest sticker is about the same size. So maybe there isn't that much flexibility, but I don't know. Let me know if you have really small or really large hands, if you find that certain brands of nail wraps are easier for you to use than others. In any case, I used 2 sets of these. I had these like red and purple lattice nails, which I thought were fine. Those were included in my order just as a free gift. And then I got these little cute spring nails that I thought at first were gingham, but they're just overlapping rectangle designs. And they're very, very cute. I wore these, I think, at Easter and thought they were just perfect for the time of year. Anyway, didn't mean to ramble so much about them, but I've been quite liking nail wraps lately. I haven't been using them like solely in place of nail polish. I've still been painting my nails, but these have been fun. I haven't really felt like doing nail art, and sometimes I like having something a little bit funky on my nails. Okay, I have a couple of little Sephora samples. So we have this K18 Peptide Prep Detox Shampoo. I got one use out of it. It did a good job of cleaning my hair, but what can you really know after one use? And then this Ceremonia Deep Conditioning Hair Mask. I got 2 uses out of this, so I feel a little bit more comfortable stating my opinion. This was not, to me, an absolutely wow hair mask, but it was nice. I can't imagine that I would buy this because it is at Sephora. It will be Sephora priced, and I don't think it did anything that was like leaps and bounds better for my hair than like the Eva NYC therapy session hair mask would. So glad to try these, but also equally glad to have them out of my stash. And then the last little sample I have is from Skylar. This is their Lime Sands Eau de Parfum. And I was using I am still using a lime scented deodorant from Mega Babe that is like weirdly strongly scented. And this matched really well with it because they're both, quite prominent lime scents. On this one are lime, sea salt, and coconut water, and they describe it as zesty, fresh, and breezy. I would definitely put it more on zesty. I don't necessarily get, breezy or fresh, but very lime forward. I liked it. I didn't love it. I prefer the Ellis Brooklyn lime scent to this one. I think that's a little bit more fun, but this was nice. Wouldn't purchase it, but enjoyed using it. So now we're going to move to fragrance and more medium to full-size fragrances. So first we have Juliet Has a Gun Juliet, and I loved this. I only got this a couple of months ago. I really did speed through it. This smells so hot. It just smells like a sexy lady. And I really enjoyed that. I don't think it smells like anything special in the tube, but when I put this on after, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, it was like, ooh, who's that? And I appreciated that very much. I would consider purchasing this again, probably not in a full size because I don't really want to spend like $90 on perfume, but I'd consider getting another travel size of it for sure. Next we have this, Le Monde Gourmand. I always forget the name and they don't have it on the bottles, which bugs me. This was their dragon fruit scent, and this I really enjoyed too. I have another dragon fruit scent in here that I used in the shower, and I didn't necessarily use them at the same time, but I'm starting to realize that I just really enjoy dragon fruit, I think. It's not something I've ever tried. I now want to taste it because it smells delicious. And this was, ticking all of the boxes for me. It was quite sweet. It was fruity. It wasn't, cloyingly sugary sweet, but definitely on the sweeter side. And that dragon fruit just gives it a little bit of bite. It's something a little bit different off the beaten path, and I really, really enjoyed this. I think this is my favorite of those Le Monde Gourmand scents that I've used so far. And then finally, for fragrance, we have Perfect in Pink from Bath & Body Works. I just finished this up a couple of days ago. This is a cherry scent, but I don't think it's the best cherry scent that Bath & Body Works has come out with. I found that at first spritz, this smelled very cough syrupy. Now, on me at least, it faded after, 30 seconds or so to something that was a lot more even and pleasant and something I really did quite enjoy. But there are other cherry scents from Bath & Body Works. Specifically, I'm thinking of Sweetheart Cherry, which I absolutely adore. That I think just completely outshine this one. I have this in another product, I think a body scrub. And I'll use it and I'll enjoy it, but I'm not in any rush to go purchase any more of this. Next, we're gonna move to body care, and the first product is that other dragon fruit scent that I was talking about. This is Pink Paradise Dragon Fruit and Hibiscus Body Wash. Love, adore, such a fan of this. I used up the body mist in this and absolutely loved it. I've now used up the shower gel and absolutely loved it. So good, so sweet. It smells almost identical to the, what is the one from Sol de Janeiro? The Beija Flor scent. So good, highly, highly recommend. Another Bath & Body Works product, this is the hand cream in Inspire Love, which is rose and vanilla. I didn't care for this scent. I like these hand creams. I find them really convenient. I usually have one in my desk at work. And this one lived in my desk for a few months because I didn't really enjoy this scent, so I didn't find myself reaching for it super often. It is a very rose scent. If you like rose, you'll love it. If you feel ambivalent about rose, like I do, probably won't be your favorite, but I used it up, and now I have, I think, a coconut scented one. at work, and I like that one a lot more, which is not very surprising. And then finally, the last body care item that I have is from Tree Hut, and this is one of their shea sugar scrubs in Peach Sorbet. I quite like these scrubs. I've used up several of them on my channel. I think that the consistency on them is really good. It really does provide a good scrub. It's not something that you would want to use more than once or twice a week, but that's fine. That's how I want to use my body scrubs anyway. And this is a nice one. This scent, not my absolute favorite. I found this to be a little bit too sweet. I think that Peach Sorbet was an interesting name for this. It's not what I would have described it as. Definitely peach, but more like a peach rings candy, like super sugary sweet. Sorbet I tend to associate with a little bit lighter of a flavor and something that's, you know, sweet, but not, maybe not North American sweet, if you know what I mean. So I will definitely repurchase these Tree Hut scrubs in the future, but probably not this particular one. Next up, we have hair products, and I used up 3 hair products this month. So first we have from Monday, the Moisture Shampoo. I like this. I really like the Monday shampoo and conditioner. I think I used up the conditioner in the last Empties video, so a couple months ago. I didn't end up using them together, but I found that this did a really nice job of cleaning my hair. It felt a little bit thicker than most shampoos do. I really liked it. I actually have this in my cart at Ulta right now. I don't need shampoo like immediately, but in the next couple months I will need it, and I can totally see myself purchasing this one. So very happy with that. Actually, don't even mind that much that Allure Beauty Box gave me these fairly small samples of a drugstore shampoo and conditioner now, because I ended up really liking them. But I still think that was cheap of them. Still think that shouldn't have counted as 2 separate items in the box. Okay, next we have the Brioche Superfoods Moisture Mask. I really enjoy this. I've used up a full size of this, and then I think while I was probably 2/3 of the way through my full size, I found this at TJ Maxx. This is a 2-ounce size. I don't remember how big the full size is, but this was $3.99, which I thought was a great price. And I really like this. It smells very pleasant. It's a really pretty light green color, which shouldn't matter, but absolutely does. It adds a little bit to the experience of using it. I put this on my hair, leave it for around 5 minutes while I, wash my body, wash my face, anything else that needs doing in the shower. Sometimes I'll leave it on for a little bit longer, but it just leaves my hair feeling very soft. I would consider purchasing this again, but I don't know, I'm not in a huge rush to get this specific one. I feel like I want to try some other hair masks. I've really been using this one pretty consistently for probably a 1.5 years or more at this point, and I just feel like it's time to try something a little bit different. Right now I'm using the Amika one, or I think Amika has several. Right now I'm using one from Amika, and it's good. I don't think it's as good as this, but I feel like I will revisit this at some point in the future. The last hair care item is definitely my least favorite of the bunch. This is from L'Oreal Paris. It's their Elvive Hyaluron Plump shampoo. So it is for dry hair. I picked this one up on a whim at Ulta. I hadn't read any reviews or heard anything good or bad about this. And I mean, I do have pretty dry hair. I tend to have quite oily roots and dry ends because my hair just likes to be difficult like that. This was fine. Was adequate. I would give it like a C+. It did what it needed to do. It got a passing grade, but it was not a great shampoo by any means. So I will go ahead and just forget that existed. Let's move now to skincare. So first up, we have this Sulwhasoo mask. This is the clarifying mask, and this is some weird stuff. Okay, so it's a peel-off mask, and the product itself is this gloopy brown liquid that looks and smells weirdly like orange chicken sauce or something. Like, it smells like mall Chinese food in a way that's just odd. I felt like you were weirdly far away, so I did some adjusting. Now, this did actually peel off, which is pretty unusual in my experience with peel off masks. I find that I usually end up having to peel off like dozens of tiny pieces or just straight up wash it off of my face. This did peel off, so fair play to it. But I don't know that it really did a whole lot for my skin. Where I did end up using it was I tend to get some just clogged up pores right around here. So I used it on that area, and I felt like it did do a good job of clearing out my pores, but I'm not gonna buy a Sulwhasoo mask to use on my chest. This was not terribly expensive. I believe that the actual product is quite pricey, but I got this sample on YesStyle for, I don't know, probably like $7 or $8. Now, if I had really congested skin on my face, this might be worth it, but I am fairly lucky with my skin most of the time, knock on wood, and I haven't been dealing with a ton of breakouts lately. So I didn't see a huge benefit from this, won't repurchase, but would actually suggest checking out YesStyle for the sample if you are at all interested in that mask. I enjoyed trying this out. Let's move next to a sunscreen. This is from Skin 1004. Their Madagascar Centella Water Fit Sun Serum. I really like K-Beauty sunscreens in general. I've tried quite a few at this point, and I feel like this hits all those notes that I like in a K-Beauty sunscreen. It is pretty thin, it's lightweight, it doesn't smell super duper sunscreen-ish. Makeup wears really well on top of it. What more can you ask for? And I appreciate this is SPF 50. I'm using an SPF 30 sunscreen right now, and I know that it is probably enough to do the job, but I just feel more secure with SPF 50. This is another product that I have gotten on YesStyle. This is at least the second tube that I've used up, and I have another in backup. I really like this, would totally recommend. And then the last skincare item that I have is from Elemis. This is their Pro Collagen Marine Cream. I got this in an Allure beauty box. Goodness, that's a tongue twister. I got this in an Allure beauty box as well, and I've used this before. I don't know if I've used a full size before, if I've had a little half size that came from Ipsy or something, but I'd used this product before. It felt familiar, and I like it. I don't think it is super amazing. I don't think it's worth the price tag at all. I don't want to spend $60 on a moisturizer, especially one that I felt was more suited to night than daytime use. I know that this is marked as a day cream, but I found that it was a little bit too thick for what I want to wear during the day, especially during the day. I really prefer a water gel moisturizer, and this is more lotiony. It's not a super thick lotion, but it's definitely a lotion. This has a particular scent. It is sort of a light aquatic scent. I don't mind it at all, but I could see that being a turnoff for some people. I think it's a good moisturizer. It's just I don't need to spend $60 on a nighttime moisturizer that I'm happy with. Yeah. And that leaves us with just makeup to cover, and I have a few makeup products. So I guess this isn't really makeup, it's nails, but it felt like it belonged here rather than with the nail wraps at the beginning. So this is from OPI. It's Lincoln Park After Dark. This is very much a classic color within the OPI line. I think it looks black on camera. In person, you can tell this is like the deepest red purple, not quite black shade in direct sunlight. You can see more of that reddish violet shade, but it's just not a type of color that I'm super drawn to. Me in high school, oh, I would have been all over this shade, but now at 31, not so much. Next up, we have an e.l.f. brow pencil. I've used up so many of these on my channel, but this one has a subtle difference in that this is in auburn rather than in blonde. I was dyeing my hair like a reddish shade for a while, and the box dye has just completely faded out. We're back to my natural hair color, and I think even in my natural hair that the auburn works pretty well. I think the blonde, which I'm using today, is a slightly better shade match for my hair, but this does not look off on me even now with no hair dye in. And I like these pencils. I don't think they're amazing, but they more than do the job for me, and they're what, $3 on e.l.f., and I usually end up getting them with points for nothing. So I will absolutely keep buying these. Unless I choose to dye my hair again, I will probably purchase blonde rather than auburn, but I think I have another auburn one upstairs in a drawer because I purchased some backups, and I'll absolutely use that up too. Okay, then we have 3 lip products. So first up, we have this Milani Fruit Fetish lip oil, and this is shade 180 Cranberry Currant. This was on sale at Ulta. I don't think there's a huge difference between most of the shades in this line. The major difference with this that I somehow hadn't picked up on until I got it is that it had some glitter in it. I didn't mind that, but it did have some glitter. Let me see. Can you see that? These are very softly pigmented. They have like a Kool-Aid packet scent. It smells like when you open a packet of like Kool-Aid or Jell-O, and you can just get that little puff of the product that comes out. It smells exactly like that. Then I saw that this had glitter. I was, not thrilled. It's not what I would have picked, but I wasn't too disappointed because I intended to just wear it around the house. But it ended up being a really subtle shimmer on the lips. I wore this out and about as well as at home, and I thought it was just fine. I like these Milani Fruit Fetish lip oils. I just go through them really quickly, and they aren't super cheap. These are like $10 or $11 regular price, so I don't think they're necessarily worth it for how quickly I go through them, but I do like the product itself. Next we have a Patrick Ta lip plumper that I actually just finished this morning. This is in the shade 2cc's, and I love the shade of this product. I think that on me, first of all, I'm getting a lot more product out than I was this morning, but having it on its side will do that. I think this is a great everyday lip color. It is a little bit more pink than my natural lips. This does really plump the lips. I think this was like a 4 or 5 out of 10 on the tingle scale. Painful for me would start at about an 8. I definitely knew it was on there. I wasn't gonna forget that I was wearing lip product, but it didn't hurt. It stuck around pretty well during the day for a gloss, but because of that, it was a little bit on the stickier side. Though I did quite enjoy using this and found myself reaching for it a lot, I don't think I'll purchase this in a full size. I got this in a Sephora Favorites kit. I might go and look for a very similar color of gloss, probably at the drugstore. I don't really care about lip plumping. I'm pretty happy with my natural lips as is. So paying Sephora prices for a lip plumper, really not necessary for me. And then the last makeup product and the last product in this video, which I'm gonna need to do some serious cutting down because I've been filming for 45 minutes already, is from NARS. And this is the Dolce Vita Afterglow Lip Balm. You guys, I have used up 4 of these full-size NARS Afterglow Lip Balms. This was my last one. And you know what I did like 2 days after I finished it? I bought another one on Ipsy. I bought the one in Laguna, which I've used up 2 minis of, but never a full size. Anyway, this was definitely up there on the list of my favorite shades. Dolce Vita is definitely more mauve pink than Orgasm is. It also does not have the subtle shimmer that's at least some of the versions of Orgasm do. I don't remember if the Afterglow Balm had shimmer in it, but I would think that it probably did. This one is a little bit deeper and more mauve pink. Orgasm is a little bit more peachy pink and lighter. I thought this color was very, very pretty. This is the second full-size tube I've used of this color. Like, big fan. And I think it was just a very pretty, easy lip product. I carried this around in my purse, and one thing that I think is worth noting is that even though it lived in my purse for months at a time, it still looks really nice. I'm impressed with the packaging as well as the product itself. So, huge hit for me. Have already repurchased, not the exact same shade, but another Afterglow lip balm, and that will be number 5. Plus like 3 minis at least. So, I would consider myself a super fan of those products. All right. I think that about wraps things up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed, and I hope I see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.